Hey, Carp Anglers, James Sanders here.
And Daniel Irish from USA Carp Squad and Bottom Feeder Baits.
And
Kenny Mack, USA Carp Guide.
And I'm from Team Fish Fighters and Bottom Feeder Baits. Wow, how's your guys' week?
Busy.
Busy.
Running around. I'm going to be fishing the Ed French Open. For those of you that don't know, I'm going to go shout out Bottom Feeder Baits, shout out Kenny Mack over there, shout out, everybody else that supports me, that is allowing me to, go and give it my best shot. This is my dream, and we're gonna go give it my best shot.
This is your first big tournament. Big tournament.
Other than the White River, yeah.
So, what a great honor. I mean,
I'm very honored. Yeah,
an honor for you guys to represent Bottom Feeder Baits. Also USA Carp Guide.
Yeah. I'm honored just to even have my name on the list with some of those people that's on the list. Is very very humbling, and like I said, we're gonna get after it. Just because it's my first time doesn't mean I'm gonna go easy. We're gonna go out there try to catch fish like we know how to do. So.
My week has been blessed but hectic as well. Making sure all the loose ends are tightened up for Daniel and the boys, and we're blessed though. When we're busy, we're having fun.
Yeah, it's a good busy. Anytime
it's great
you're busy with something involving fish, it's still fun.
Kenny's getting ready to go to Dale Hollow this weekend too.
I am. I'll head out Friday morning. We got some clients. Daniel is ghosting me. He knew we had clients, but he decides he wants to run around the country and doing these tournaments.
Yeah, the nerve of him.
But no, I'm pretty excited for him. I can't wait to see how well he does. I'll put Daniel Irish up against anybody, even you, Rafal.
Oh no!
Jeez.
Right, he's getting me into fights already.
The rooster.
So here we go.
That's right, buddy. Hey, the red rooster's coming, man. You'll see his hair before you see him.
For you anglers that's out there, if you guys when we start to get introduce the guests to our show, if you guys got any kind of questions that you guys would love to ask the USA Carp Guide, I'm excited about this show. I really am. This is a team that out of 33 teams, they represent the United States, and they came in 6th place.
Yeah, 6th in the world.
And we've struggled in the past. We've always struggled.
Yeah.
And they put us on the map. 6th place is huge.
Yeah. Honored to talk to them right now.
A 6th place finish is, like Kenny Mack said. I mean, literally put us on the map. So very, very cool, very high caliber level anglers.
Right,
so let's go ahead and bring everybody on.
Hi guys, how you guys doing? Welcome to the show.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for having us.
Rafal's moving his lips and nothing's coming out.
Don't say that again. We heard
it's
it.
It's always him.
Can you hear me?
There you go.
Yes.
So let's get it kicked off, man. Well, first thing I want to know is the beginning. We often talk about fishing. We often talk about the strategies in the swim and what we're doing in there. But let's talk about daggone getting there, right? This is the world tournament. Tell us a little bit about the trials and tribulations of just getting on the bus and getting there. Bogdan?
Yeah. If you can repeat that, I was struggling to understand.
That's okay. I was curious on the process that it takes to get prepared and to get to Croatia. Tell us a little bit about that process on loading up and getting your gear ready. For most of us, we're going down to the river, but you guys are traveling a really long way, and you got to pack a lot of gear. And just want to know what your thoughts and processes and what you do to get prepared for a big tournament like that.
Normally, how it starts, in about probably a month and a half, 2 months by now, we're gonna start get ready for next year. And slowly, we're gonna start having our meetings with all the team members, and we're gonna start taking each aspect at a time, start covering from logistics things, talking about rental cars, accommodations, food, and after that we're gonna slowly get into whatever we need, our bait needs, our tackle needs, whatever we are missing from the previous year. We start pulling out lists, we start pulling out notes, and more or less in the very big lines, that's how everything starts. And obviously, none of these will be possible without some help and some logistics from overseas. We already have our team of people traveling from Europe to help us out over there.
Nice.
Those guys are absolutely golden for us.
Right.
Okay, and Rafal, when you get there, is there a peg viewing? You know, like the other tournaments. And once you guys get landed, what's the next move?
So, actually, timing and budget permitting, we actually had a better idea. We sent a crew, Bogdan included, to fish one of the local tournaments on one of the very same lakes that the World Championship was taking place. So instead of actual peg viewing, we were able to do what, frankly, most of the European countries are able to do year in and year out, which is actually test the actual waters. Fish over there, see what works with your own eyes, cast the rods, test the place out. That's one of the big reasons why the European countries have home field advantage over us.
Yeah.
Because they can drive over there like you driving to a tournament, and they have the first-hand knowledge as to what's going on over there, how it works, and what doesn't work. So we finally did it this year.
Man, that's awesome, Rafal, and that goes to say how big that sixth place finish is. I mean, for crying out loud, not only are you at a disadvantage, but you're fishing next to the best in the world. You're right next to England, and to pull a sixth place finish, that speaks volumes of the hard work you guys put in.
Actually, I'm going to interrupt you for 1 second. Before we probably go ahead with this discussion, maybe it's not going to be a very bad idea to start explaining to everybody who's watching us actually how it's actually working. How is the point system and all that? Because we got tons of questions. I got like hundreds of messages asking us what those penalties, how maybe if you guys have time, probably it's not going to be a bad idea to briefly go over the score system, in order for people who actually present right here to understand what that actually sixth place means more exactly. And I'm gonna start again. This is gonna be a very brief explanation about how it's work. I'm not gonna get into very little details, but as you guys know, each delegacy from each country this year was one of the largest world championship ever. This was 33 nations participating on this world championship. The way it works, every single nation is going to be presenting themselves with 3 teams. How it actually works. Basically, all these venues, in these particular venues, we're talking about 2 lakes. In Croatia this year, it's been 2 lakes. Lake Borovic and Lake Jasovo. On these lakes, how it works. Each country, we got 3 teams. Each team is gonna go onto a section. Basically, all these 2 lakes, they've been split through 3 sections. One lake has been 1 section, the other lake is accommodating 2 sections. Section A, B, and C.
Okay.
Basically, each country is gonna have a team competing on one of these sectors, on sector A and sector B and sector C. Okay? Now, what's happening when people seeing over there penalty points, you got a tendency to think, oh my God, something is going wrong. These guys are getting no. Actually, then when they're referring at the penalty points, they're referring about your rank position, your position into the whole ranking. Let's say Sean and Henry, and after that Rafal, they fish the section C.
Yeah.
Okay. The rules of the FIP says if it's more than 24 countries attending this world championship, they will need to have subsectors, which this can be a little bit more complicated, but I'm not going to get into the details. Basically, each sector, then sector A is going to be sector A1, A2. Sector B is going to be B1, B2. Sector C, C1, C2. Basically, you need to compete with another 16 teams, left and right.
Wow.
Now, those penalty points, let's say into your sector, you're placing yourself on a second place, let's say total weight.
Okay.
That means 2 penalty points. That's how those penalty points are coming from. Let's say you put yourself on a 10th place. That's coming with 10 penalty points. In the end of all those 72 hours, basically what happens, all those penalty points for each team representing the country, basically the team competing in sector A with the team competing in sector B with the one competing in sector C, all the points from all nation three teams, they're gonna come up together, and as less points you have, as better chance you have to qualify. Let's say you're gonna end up into the section A first place, section B you're gonna end up first place, section C you're gonna end up first place. Your country's coming in the end with a total of 3 points. Is that pretty clear how I explain it? Or
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
then basically that's the scoring point on each of these world championships. That's the reason it's very, very difficult to come up with points, because in any second anything can change. A team behind you can catch a fish and can put you lower into the rank. Instead of getting 3 points, you're gonna get 4 points. You can basically lose the first, or you get the first place or the medals in a matter of minutes. This is the most accurate and the most fair play, I would say, scoring system as I ever fish
Yeah.
Wow.
into a tournament. And yes, you're right. You cannot choose your neighbors. Basically, when you go to the draw, they have the packages already pre-made for.
Wow.
Let's say I go to draw number 4. When I go to draw number 4, I just grab a ball from the bucket, and that ball is gonna say A4. And that A4 ball, what that means is gonna come up in a package with, like, let's say A4, B6, and C11.
Wow.
The way they bundle together all these fishing spots, it's based on a value, on a fishing value. Let's say if you get like an A4 bag, which was the case, which is a very good fishing spot, normally the next 2 spots they're gonna be even medium or medium low. Or if you're gonna get a really good spot, you're gonna get a medium and a low quality fishing spot. They try to keep all these spots as equal as possible, if you understand what I'm saying.
Sure.
It's almost impossible for you to get 3 very good spots.
Wow.
It's always one of the teams it's gonna get a little bit of a better spot, and one of the team is gonna get the lower end of the stick, and
Right.
or you can get 2 medium spots and a low spot, or sometimes 3 very low medium spots. But for you to understand, that's the way they preparing all the whole entire scene in what regards. If you do have any question about those penalty points or scoring thing, if you think I didn't explain it right, you can ask me right now, or we can try to, because it makes no sense to continue discussing about this if people will not understand actually how is it working.
Yeah, no, I mean, it sounds like, when you go to take your pegs, you pull your first one and it sounds like you get a set of them. And, you're not going to get, like you said, you're not going to get three amazing pegs. You're going to get average pegs. Not one of them is going to be average, but over the course of the three pegs, they all average out to be kind of equal sounds like to give everybody, a fair chance, a fair chance.
That's exactly.
Yeah,
That's
they try to
exactly
make
how
it
they try
an
it.
even draw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
I
you get
think
a good peg, a medium peg, and a low peg, roughly.
yeah, I think the best thing that Bogdan said was value. It's value oriented.
Yeah.
And so
Right. Also, from what I heard, and maybe you guys could, see if it's true or not. Is it true that the referees or the weigh guys, whatever they are, they actually check everybody's peg and check everything out? I mean, make sure everything's equal, drug testing and all that kind of stuff on each angler. Is this true or?
Okay, in regards of the drug testing, the organizing nation,
Yeah.
it's reserving the right of performing a drug test to any athlete into that square box.
Well,
Anyone. It's basically in the end of the tournament, they're gonna step on. We've been subject to one of those things like a few years back in Spain when the entire marshal committee, they get into one of our pegs and they get one of our angler and it says, right now, drop everything you got in your hands. You're gonna come with us. We're gonna go to the hospital. We're gonna perform a drug test.
wow.
All these tests are coming randomly or less randomly. We don't know exactly how they pick, but obviously, if those tests are coming wrong, you basically put in jeopardy the presence of the USA in any FIP set events for probably next 10 years. It's a very big load
Yeah.
on the shoulder of that guy
Yeah,
deciding
okay,
to
okay.
handle there was. And other than that, the marshals, I think we do have Rafal. We do have some pictures with the way the sectorization looks like with all those lines and basically all those corridors. And I think we do. We can share over to the guys to have a better idea.
So, so we have pictures showing those zones. So it's important to mention that the pegs are not just a single line defining a peg and that's that. No, it's much more complex than that.
Right.
To ensure that there is nothing funny per se going on before and during the fishing. So you have your peg defined by zone A,
Yeah.
where the actual anglers are fishing, and there is a strict and very limited access by anybody else, including team captains and weigh marshals that can enter that at particular times. Then there is a zone B, which is I call it the buffer zone.
Okay.
That's, for example, the area where before we start fishing, I can go as a non-angler, for example, but part of the team, help with the bags to bring them to the peg. But I cannot cross into the actual peg, which is zone A. I have this buffer zone, which is basically a lane of a couple of yards where we can drop off the bags and absolutely nothing else.
Oh, wow.
And then you have your zone C, for example, where the general public can be, or any other member of other teams. There are more particular rules, how other team captains and members can come closer. It gets very detailed. But the general idea is that the zone A is for the anglers and team captains sometimes. And for weigh marshals, zone B is your buffer zone where the reserves can come in and where you can help load up the stuff. And then the outer zone is obviously for spectators and for other people. So it gets pretty technical, but for a reason.
Oh yeah, and all these areas are delimited with like some plastic band. Imagine all these lines are not imaginary lines. Basically, they use kilometers, miles of these plastic tapes these plastic tapes lay down on the ground. Basically, every single box is delimited exactly. It's nothing is imaginary in here. Everything it's like on a point. And yes, the marshals over there, the referees, they call them. They have all the rights they want to take, even to come to you and ask you to pull all the rods out of the water, check your line directions, your baits, your anything. They whatever they ask, it flies. If they asking you not complying, you are a subject of a yellow, even a red card, which is red card is gonna give you the max point, the max penalty points plus 10, and you are done in that particular second fishing. It's a competition which you can lose it before you even start it. Let's put it that way. It's
So what would be a scenario, like you said, that they could ask you to, pull your rods in? Have you ever seen, weigh marshals come by and ask a team to pull their rods in?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yes. It happens to me actually a couple of times. We get, I would even call it abused.
Yeah.
Just because we fished next to the organizing team, like in France, like about 4 or 5 years ago, and we kind of a little bit of a pain in the butt for those guys, and they really don't want us to fish into a certain area, because any fish we catch, we give them like penalty points, and that's the time when they play everything they could just to make us feel uncomfortable into a way or another.
Right.
I'm not gonna get much into the detail, but yes, I got my lines pulled out at least like 3 or 4 times with absolutely no penalties, no nothing.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
No, it's so easy. That's the reason I told you you can end up this competition before it starts. Best example, I know it's gonna sound a little bit crazy based on the way we are used to fish here in the US. For instance, imagine you got a run and you turn on your head torch, your headlamp.
Yeah.
You got your headlamp on, lighting the water, trying to spot your line. That's a red card offense. That's a red card offense. Basically, by the rule book, it says you are allowed to use very discreet illumination only when the fish is close to the net, and use it only for netting the fish. And it's a whole bunch of these type of rules and regulations, which I don't even know what. Red Bulls, energy drinks, let's put it that way. You got caught with one of those.
That's what I heard. I heard about that.
Yeah, I remember like 5, 6, 7 years ago, I was in France actually. They stopped by and they checking our bottles to see how much coffee do we have, and recommending us to take it easy with the coffee, because that could come out into an eventually test as an excess of caffeine, and it is every single time, the captain is bringing you like the food, or basically the reserves are allowed to bring you food in certain situations as well, but every single box getting into your square over there, it's gonna be checked by the referees. It's gonna be checked. It's absolutely no. Let's put it that way. You got 10 spumps with you. Unfortunately, you're gonna break all 10 of them in the first half an hour. That's it. You're gonna fish without spumps. You're gonna fish without spawns. If any of your team members or captains or whatever, they're gonna be caught bringing you one spawn into the box over there, that's considered like resupplying, and that's called a red card offense. That's gonna be immediately. That team is gonna be eliminated. Not a single hook. I just give an example with the spawns, but You understand what is the point? That's till the resupply time, which it's between 40 and 44 hours of the tournament. Between hour 40 and hour 44, you are allowed to resupply because the bait quantity is limited as well. You're not allowed to have more than 200 kilos of bait. Let's say you get into the bank at the very beginning of the tournament with like 140. Sometimes they wait it, sometimes they don't wait it. Many times they waited for us. In the last year they didn't, but it's just like you never know when they're gonna do it, and they. On the resupply time, they're gonna say, okay, how much bait do you want to re-add? I says, okay, we put in initially 140 kilos. We got another 60 kilos. Okay, go ahead. And when you do that, you better have around 200 kilos all bait together into your square, because if they're gonna come and check and you have 400 kilos,
Oh wow,
That's crazy. Wow.
So
Yeah,
it
it's-
sounds, it sounds like they have very strenuous and strict rules.
They do.
If if it's even questionable, it sounds like you shouldn't do it at all, because they're going to card you even if it's questionable. But would you say?
What is?
I'm sorry.
I don't remember, Rafal or Sean. What was the limit this year? I think they moved it. Was a kilo and a half, and if the fish was 30 grams shy or 50. I don't remember exactly.
No, it was
this year.
It was so the minimum weight of the fish to count is 1,500 grams, which is 1.5 kilo, and I believe 1,300 grams and below. If they come in and that fish has less than 1,300 grams, I believe, you get penalized
I think
for
it's more than that. I think it's way more than that. It's like 1450 or something. I know they allowed you like 50 grams, or maybe you were right. I'm not sure. But anyway, for you to imagine, you call them to weigh a fish, and the fish, it's instead of 1,500 grams, which is roughly 3 pounds. If the fish is gonna be 2 pounds and 14 ounces, you get a yellow card.
Wow.
No, so it's actually $12.99, which is under
right.
1,300 grams.
Yeah.
You get penalized for it, and it's not valid.
So you actually can get, like you say, penalized for catching a fish. Like you said, you're happy that you have the weigh marshal on the way, and then they actually tell you, oh, you lose points for this. So would you say that
Actually, you're not gonna lose any points, because you're just gonna get a yellow card. On the second yellow card, you're gonna lose it completely. It's not. It's a game. Let's put it that way.
Right.
And it's a game. It's a game you play sometimes with 10, 15, 20 people watching you non-stop, taping you, cameras behind you, phones filming you, scouts from other teams watching every move you make, just waiting for you to make a single bad mistake.
Wow.
And that's it. It's over.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it can almost be like a game of chess sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Do you guys think that these strenuous rules, and all these regulations that you have to follow, do you think it, brings out the best of the best? Do you think it is like, the highest form of competition?
Indeed.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
I mean, the anglers we compete against are amazing anglers.
Yeah.
Very tough anglers. Very smart anglers.
Yeah.
What would it take for to bring a tournament like that to the United States?
As you guys know, we have been trying to do that. I was involved into trying to bring that tournament over in the name of the US Angling, and with the help of the guys from Genie and Paul Russell,
Right.
the Wild Carp guys. Unfortunately, I mean, it's not unfortunately, it sounds like that. As many rules they have for anglers attending these tournaments, as probably many rules or even more than that they have for the people who try to actually organize these tournaments.
Yeah.
More or less, you need to come up with a venue which needs to be
Needs to have a road all the way around it.
exactly. You
A
need
lot
to have
of things go into it.
infrastructure, water depth. Almost all the fishing spots, they need into a way or another to be similar. You know, to not create advantage or disadvantages to anybody else. And on top of that, this is a huge financial commitment, which into a way or another, it's for us very hard to explain to the communities we've been target to have this tournament in play, to explain them, hey, the amount of money actually these tournaments are bringing to the community, the infusion of money that community gets out of these tournaments in the next 4 or 5 years, it's huge, you know. And they listen to us, they try to help us. We get a lot of support for local authorities, but we get stuck to the point when some work needs to be done, and some work into the direction of the trees needs to be trimmed down, cut, or, you know, we're talking about some certain areas where we need to secure like car access and stuff like that, and that was the point where we hit a wall. And we've been having discussions like, oh, that's some sort of a protected brush, or you cannot step on it, you cannot cut it, you cannot.
Yep.
And that was the point where we hit the wall. And what I can say, we're back on searching. We're back on looking around. One day it's gonna happen. When it's gonna happen, that's something we cannot say right now. Any help into that direction is more than welcome. Anybody around here listening to this podcast, anyone around knowing, let's say, a venue who can host around 90 teams with the access and all that, please get in touch with us, with any of us, any of you guys. And we're gonna be more than happy to go out, take a look, and try to bring it here. That will be amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Question: for your guys' team, how much peg space were you guys allowed to have?
The peg space?
Yeah.
The rules are. I think it's a 25 meters, Rafal, or 20 meters.
So it's the peg. So going back to the sections of the peg, right? So the actual peg space for the anglers is 15 meters by 12 meters.
Wow.
That's zone A. That's where the two athletes are set up. Then you have that buffer zone. I said zone B. That's 3 meters wide, basically. It goes around section A. And then zone C, it's also 3 meters behind section B, but it can extend more to the side. So, and then again, zone B is that's authorized access to, like stewards, reserves, captains of the competitors' nations, for example, press, with agreements of the two competitors in the box. Then the zone C is for captains, reserves, delegates of all other nations, but it's not open to the public. Then zone D, basically, outside all of those, is where the public can be. But yeah, 15 by 12 is where the anglers fish. We're talking about meters.
Right.
Okay, so
it's
roughly,
almost, let's say, yards, almost same thing.
15 by 12, that's your peg size.
Which you can't fish outside of your box either.
Yeah.
So you have to fish in a straight line in between your box. And that's
because each of these boxes, you're gonna basically have a buoy in the water. Sometimes you're gonna have, all depends on the country organizing these world championships. Sometimes you're gonna have a left and right buoy, which is actually gonna be your peg into the water. It's absolutely no way. You gotta be between those two buoys. And normally those buoys, they start being put it like around 200 meters out, to not interfere more or less with your fishing. But sometimes you're gonna have a buoy in exact middle of your peg, which was the case this year. And each team, let's say, peg number 1 is gonna have a red buoy, peg number 2 is gonna have a yellow. Peg number 3 gonna be red, and go on, and that buoy is basically an imaginary middle of your peg. The reason they do that, it's very easy for anyone to figure it out if you are fishing into your fishing area or not. And I think you got like 10 or 12 meters left and right of that buoy. They let you know they take all the measures possible to keep this tournament as a fair play as possible. And
yeah, it really sounds like it. It sounds like they want you guys, literally on an equal playing field, down, the pegs extending straight out into the water with the buoys, with even down to the amount of bait that you're even allowed to put in. It sounds like
I was trying more or less, to talk about the differences between our tournaments and this tournament. Another big difference between these tournaments and our tournaments we are used to in the US. Obviously, we're talking about a total weight. Here, it's a total weight. Here is not a Big Ten, no. This is a total weight. But this something which is out of our usual thing in our tournaments is baiting. Here, it's using a spawn board, using a ground catapult. It's called heavy baiting.
Right.
When I'm saying spawn, you understand, it could be a rocket method, It doesn't matter what that is. Spawn bus, whatever. It's like spawn, spider, you name it. That baiting time, it's between 8 o'clock in the morning and 6:30 p.m.
Wow.
That's it. After 6:30 p.m., the only delivery method for your bait, it's gonna be the throwing stick. It's gonna be the throwing stick or a catapult, which is it's actually operated by 2 hands. That's it. Not allowed to touch the ground. Not allowed to use your leg or no.
Wow.
A catapult operated by 2 hands and a throwing stick. That's the only way you can send bait into the water between 6:30 p.m. and 8 o'clock a.m., which is considered the quiet time, the night time. This is something which is different than our tournaments here, which it sometimes can play a very important role in the way you actually approach all these
Goes
fishing.
into everything, your bait and everything. Your strategy of how you fish.
Yeah. So how would they feel? I know it is. It's not an American tournament. It's very, very different. Here in America, a lot of us use pack bait and stuff like that. How would they feel about throwing a ball of pack bait around your lead during those times that you say the quote unquote quiet times?
Oh no! That's
That's a red
Not
card.
allowed.
Right.
that's an
That is a red card.
instant finish of your tournament.
Wow.
Instant finish. You're not allowed to have any type of a bait attached to your lead or to your hook. The only way you can, let's say, have a little bit more attraction around your hook is to use PVA bags.
Okay.
PVA mesh. That's the only way. And in regards of American style methods, you remember when Rafa was telling you about that little tournament going on before the World Championship? Actually, these tournaments are into a way or another kind of a mandatory by FIPSET. I could not be 100% if I'm right or wrong, if they now forcing the organizing nation to have it or not. I'm not 100%. I know back in the day, they request every nation to organizing the world championship to have a tournament prior the world event. Okay, anyway, this event we decided to go, and on this time it's been me, it's been Norbert, it's been our young gun Tanner, and obviously our vice captain from Romania, Darius. Imagine we decide 3 days before this tournament to go. It was like we having our conference call, going back and forth and talking and discussing, and I'll give this to Norby because he was like pushing me, kind of like, hey, we gotta do it, we gotta find it. And I says, you know what, let's do it.
Right.
But let's not only go scouting, let's go one team is gonna fish it and one team is gonna scout.
Yeah.
You know, and that's exactly how it was happening. Me and Darius, the vice captain, we've been fishing the tournament. Norbert and Tanner, they've been scouting around to see exactly what is going on, how people, because who's fishing these tournaments?
Yeah.
33 nations.
Yeah.
More or
Yes,
less.
that's right.
More or less, with few countries not being there as anglers, more or less all of them are, you know. And even if they're not there fishing, they are there scouting, you know. And basically we decide that, which I think was our power move, let's put it that way, because in this time we step into the bank with the only one idea: we don't care at all what is our result into this tournament. If you understand what I'm trying to say, we don't care. We care less about that.
Right.
All we care about is to gain intel, to gain information, try to figure it out, fish movements, fish locations.
See what works and see what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Exactly. And believe me or not, what doesn't work, it's sometimes more important than what it works. So,
Yeah.
and based on what you've been saying earlier about the pack bait, you can imagine we have it with us. I mean,
Right.
we try it out there. We got the grits, we got a panko, we got the oats, we got everything. And to be honest with you, it's been kind of pointless, you know, and it's not necessarily coming. I fish many years using these methods, and I still do here in the US, and it's been kind of pointless. You attract a lot of nonsense fish, and once those guys they getting on top of your fishing spots, you kind of screwed. They never leave. And you
That's
gotta
the one
be
thing too, is when you pre-fish these tournaments, figuring out all this stuff. When you go into a tournament like we do from so far away, you have a certain amount of time to get it correct. And if you don't get it correct, it's too late to switch your tactic or your plan, because the teams are taking off.
Yeah. You see, I give you the best example. We start this tournament, we got one of the favorite teams in this tournament. It's been team of Romania, team of Hungary, obviously Croatia, and few others. Okay, Ukraine, which they've been training over there for like at least a month and a half. All these countries I was telling you about a few seconds ago, they've been training over there at least 4 or 5 times, 10 times, 11 times sometimes, you know. They very well aware of what is going on in these venues, you know. And for us, it happens to fish next to Hungary, a very, very strong team. We're talking about guy which is almost world record caster, guy casting freaking spawns. Kept spawns in a clip like 180 yards out with zero effort. Zero effort. I'm talking about the guy is like flipping the wrists and keep the clip on like 180 yards out spawns, which I know a lot of people here in the US seen thinking, oh, but I can fish 150, 160. I am actually telling you and all those guys this right now. I don't believe it. And all those guys who coming and tell me, oh, I can fish 175 yards. I can fish 175 yards. I'm telling you right now, I want to see that guy. That guy is an instant addition to the team, but I don't want to see that guy casting one time 175. I want to see that guy hitting that 175 clip constantly and not marking it like, oh, that's about 175. No, I need to see it clearly marked. But this is a different discussion. We go back. what we figure it out. The tournament starts and then we seen these guys start wrapping rods. 5 minutes till the time for putting the rods in, and I look at these guys and these guys already start wrapping rods, measuring lines. And I was like, what the hell is going on? These guys kind of measuring lines, they don't even start plumbing, or they don't need to know what is going on. These guys already know what is going on, with other words, They already know they've been wrapping rods. By the time we cast the fourth rod in, these guys, they already have a fish on the bank.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And me and Darius, we need like 14 hours more exactly. Starts at 3 o'clock. Is actually 15 hours sharp. I caught the first fish at like 3 o'clock in the morning. When I change something into the setup, we start playing with few little things, and boom, we found it. But need 15 hours to figure it out. What was that? And that was a very little thing. I'm not going to talk about it, but it's been a very little thing. As soon as we found it, we almost start catching fish with these guys head to head, if you understand. They got a fish, we got a fish. They got 2 fish, we got maybe 4. They got, we going head to head. Basically, we lost this match with these guys with that exact weight these guys caught in those 14, 15 hours we didn't manage to catch. That's the reason what Sean was telling you here. That's exactly the perfect timing for saying you snooze, you lose. That's it. It's like here in these venues, you have no time to go and, I don't want to be misunderstood. You have no time. You do have, but you got to be very, very fast. If you're going to find out something in like the first hour or two, you golden. But if it's going to take you like a day to figure it out,
it's too late.
Yeah, you're already too far behind everybody.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're too far behind. You're too far behind.
And then it takes too much. It takes time for your tactics to start working too. It doesn't happen instantly.
Right.
So you have to put the plan in effect and then wait and see how it works, and it starts working.
I'm actually gonna tell you about this. Okay, we start using these tiger nuts with this plastic corn. Okay, this particular plastic corn. Okay, we figure it out. We catching daytime very good with this particular bait. Nighttime it slows down. Nighttime we figure it out if we start using 2 tiger nuts with another little bit in the middle of these 2 tiger nuts. Boom, we start catching fish. And this is called adapting. You see, daytime, as soon as the sun start cracking out, we switch. We start switching all the baits to that. We start catching.
Right.
As soon as the dark starts setting in, we're gonna see we got a bite on that. That's it. We switching to the other bait. This type of adapting, it's actually what makes you winning or losing all these tournaments. Right. Yeah. But now the problem is you need to trust what you're doing, because let's say you try those 2 tiger nuts. You try those 2 tiger nuts in the daytime, and we have no bites in the daytime on that. Sometimes with a lot of us, including me, and we sometimes using a certain type of bait, and once I using it, I'm not necessarily going back to it,
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily going back to it because I say, hey, you know what? I tried, it's not working. Keep going. Try to look for something else,
Right.
And in this case scenario, by example, this could cost all the position, because if we're not using that, it's not working. When it starts working from right away. If
Because
it makes sense.
if you're changing too much, when the fish come by, you might have the wrong thing in place and you missed your opportunity.
Right.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, there's
It's,
so many moving parts.
It's
Do you guys have tryouts each year before the tournament? I mean, is it the same teammates each year, or do you guys?
let's put it up, because this is the question which goes back and forth every year. Like
Oh, does it?
this is that type of a question which creates dramas over the years, and creates. I will not be surprised if this question it came somewhere into a private chat straight to your phone. Which
Got it.
yeah, we're gonna go towards that, and I'm gonna say it like that. We are welcoming everyone in this team. All you need to do is just step in. You are welcome. Show us you got the skills we're looking for,
Right.
and you are on. Tryouts. Okay, let's say tryouts. When we are talking about these type of tournaments, you see, being an angler, obviously, being a good angler, it's number one. It's number one criteria we're gonna look for. But in the same time, we need to see a little bit of a conduit. You know, if you understand what I'm trying to say, because once we are out there, we representing out there. Once we get off the plane in whatever country we're gonna be, it's not Bogdan, it's not Rafal, it's not Sean, it's not Christine, it's not Mihai, it's not Norby, it's not Tanner, it's nobody. It's USA team.
Right.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know, and it spells into kind of my shoes. I mean, let's put it that way. Me, myself in this team, I'm an angler.
Yeah.
Christine is the captain. But into a way or another, it falls into our shoes to try to look into those particular individuals, because sometimes mistakes can be done.
Yeah.
Between us, we sometimes can take a bad strategy, or obviously in our head is going to be the best one, but it happens to not. Okay, what we need to make sure it happens is our angler being part of that team. They're going to be the anglers who actually going to be supportive and want to be the anglers which they are willing to work towards getting better, and it's not going to be the anglers which they're going to start pointing fingers and break us apart.
That's right.
You know, because our database of anglers, it's not that big
Right.
to be able to say, hey, that guy. For God's sake, guys, we're talking about fishing here 150, 160 meters constantly, day and night. We're talking about 200 kilograms of bait, sometimes more than that, because 200 kilograms of bait, it could be dry tiger nuts. When you start boiling them on a bank, they can be 300 kilos of baits, you know? We're talking about your ass constantly working for 12 hours non-stop, bombing non-stop, working your ass off. Can you do it? I don't want you to tell me I can do it because I did it on my backyard pond, which I spommed 30 spoms. I'm talking about 380 spoms.
Yeah.
Every time you need to hit that clip. I'm talking about fishing on top of those spoms every time hitting that clip.
Yeah.
It's not like you casting it and, oh, you know what, it feels great, leave it there. No. Our strategy in all these matches is only one. We have a plan. We follow that plan. If that plan works, we stand a chance. If that plan doesn't work, we came back home with whatever we learned out of that, and we try to put it back on into the next one. Nice. That's the way it has been working, at least for the last years. me and the OGs, how I like to call them,
Nice.
Yeah.
we run it. If anyone else, they have better ideas or they got better skills to do it, they are welcome. They are more than welcome. I would not enjoy nothing else more than just get my ass behind those rods, somebody to tell me what to do. And telling me, hey, you know what, these are your rods, these are your buckets of baits, do that, and that. Thank you very much, boss. I'm gonna follow you like the best soldier you ever seen. But before all those guys, and I know they are not that many, there are few out there, not that many. Part of them, they can't say nothing because I already contact them, Along these years, they receive a phone call from me. Even this year, some of them, they receive a phone call from me saying, hey, Team USA Carp Squad needs you.
Yeah.
Do you have a little bit of a time and money, of course, to join us? I was absolutely massacred when I choose to bring Rafal on the team. I got emails, I got messages, I've been attacked on the US page over there, being called that and that and that. And in the end of the story, my only question was why?
Yeah.
Because that guy didn't pay his way in, and I'm telling you, whatever who's listening right now, that Rafael is not in the team because he's got the money or he pays his way in. Rafael helps a lot, but helps in the same manner like everybody else in the team.
Nice.
But Rafael was in the team because when I called and I was asking, hey, we are looking for somebody to give us a hand. We are struggling on this media part. We are struggling a little bit on that. That guy's question was, can I please have the exact job description? That was his next question. When he asked me that, I got goosebumps. I said yes. And I says, look, Rafael, this is what I need briefly from you. And he takes a little, at last, maybe 5 seconds. And he was like, I'm on.
Nice.
I'm on. That's it. Why? It's and after that, I mean, I don't want to come up with names. You know what? My friends are keep sending me messages. They said they cannot find the podcast. If you guys can boost it somehow or somewhere
Yeah.
posting.
It's the friends or something. It's on the
Anyway, sorry for interruption.
No, you're fine.
And it's all these guys. They get a phone calls this year. Don't misunderstand me. I call and I was like, I need you,
Right.
and all of them was like, oh, you know what? This is not the right time. Okay, how much it cost? Oh, how long I need to be away from my family? In the end of the story, all these keyboard cowboys, they just remain keyboard cowboys because when they got a chance to step in, they didn't do it.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
And I always, me and Mihai, my brother, we always talking about kind of like, you know what, we are pushing this car is out of gas, we got to get this car to a gas station, and obviously we need to push it. If this is our team, we running low on fuel, we running on fumes, let's put it that way.
Right.
It's a struggle for us every year to find the right budget for the bait, for the equipment, for the whatever, you name it. It's a struggle, and when I'm saying a struggle, it is a struggle. If you don't want to help us pushing that car towards the gas station, at least don't stay in the front of it. Let us do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you don't want to put your shoulder and push together with us, at least let us do it.
Yeah.
Let us do it. If
aside.
you want to jump in, what more than I just said right now and every single time? Along these years, I traveled to Texas, I traveled to Michigan, I traveled to Wisconsin, I travel everywhere. I have these clinics everywhere. People are coming in and out and in and out, and when everything comes to the time away from the family or money out of the bank accounts, it's over. I would love to have the enough funds to say, you know what, from now on, Team USA is gonna accept anglers based on nothing else. I don't care if you can support yourself, if you cannot. Unfortunately, we are not there, but don't misunderstand me, please. Here is not about you part of the team if you have the money or you don't have the money. In the end of the story, we're talking about few thousands here and there, which if you do a little bit of good calculation, you're gonna spend in any of our local tournaments. You know, it's not an end of the world. It's a lot of money for a lot of people, but those people who have those qualities, what I just mentioned, being able to stay awake for 72 hours with 5 hours of sleep, but 5 hours of sleep is not 5 hours at a time. It's 5 hours of sleep, sometimes in 2 rounds or sometimes in 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Complete, totaling 5.5 hours. If those guys can run as a team, they can take the stress, they can take the working under pressure, they can still got the stamina to put those lines out there. They can still have the guideline to look as a gentleman when he's dressed with the blue t-shirt. Contact us.
Right.
Get in touch with me, get in touch with Christine, get in touch with any of us out there. Because we do have a qualifier, one year, we do have a qualifier. And that qualifier cost us approximately, I don't remember by that time, like almost $14,000, the entire team. Because we go prepared for that qualifier we go prepared to qualify.
Right.
We actually did. First in each sector, we did. But you know what that qualifier cost us? The opportunity to go and train.
Yeah.
Into that particular venue. All those money we have saved to go out there and do what we did this year, we spend them on that qualifiers, and we cannot go. We cannot go training anymore. Just to make few anglers, which they got a self-esteem a little bit bigger than they can carry, happy.
Yeah.
You know?
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
The qualifiers, they're gonna happen.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let everybody know when that is gonna happen. And I think this is, I if I was a little bit too harsh about it,
Passionate.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Passionate.
And experience.
this is all it runs. This team, sir. When this passion's coming out right now out of my but any of us part of this team can talk to you to the exact same emotions I do, you know. Any single one of them, any single one of us left home. Norby left his mom in a hospital coming fishing with me in Croatia.
Wow.
Every single one of us, we do sacrifices which
for the
we
better of the
we
team.
do it. You know, part of the team, yes. Part of the team. If any of you out there watching this, you want to do it, you can do it. You want to do it, contact me. Contact me, contact Christine, contact any of us. I'll promise you're not going to be ignored. But not with, because you see, this is a little bit of a problem. I kind of talk my mind, you know. I cannot be fake too much, you know.
My man. My man.
If you contacting me and telling me, and you show me actually how you cast 195 yards, and it happens for me to know exactly where you at when you casting that rod, and you want me to send applause for you casting that 200 or whatever, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. And it's you need to have a bulletproof proof to say yes, I can do it.
Right.
It's not working like, oh, I cast. Oh, how long is? Sometimes I cast myself and I think I put it out there at 250 yards. To be honest with you, if I'm tired enough and I'll stand it out there, sometimes I'm afraid it's gonna break. I'm gonna kill somebody on the other side of the lake. But it's not. It's not. It's just you. All these means training. And look, ask Rafal, ask Sean, ask Christine. What it's number one topics on our conference calls? Guys, go out there. Get your slingshots. Train with those slingshots. Get your rods. Train with those rods. Train with those throwing sticks. I need each one of guys' hands being beat off at least a week before this tournament for your muscles to be able to heal up. And by the time you get inside the box, your hand is going to be bulletproof. It's not going to be effective by you throwing out 100 kilo of boilies if necessary. Ask each one of them. They are here, right? We have this discussion every time we end up these conference calls with this. Go out there, train yourself. Because just fishing Sunday warrior fishermen's,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it
It
could not
takes a lot
happen.
of stamina for
Right.
these tournaments.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I bet.
And it beats you up.
Look on the situation. Look what happens to us with Henryk. This is the best example. Rafal. And this is, trust me, this is not something we talk about it before or something like that. This is like as live as it can be. Rafal, when I put you down on the list as a reserve, what I told you, your chances to get in behind the rods, they are very little. Correct or not correct? Am I lying or not lying?
Right, and but you see, this is what makes us a little bit different. And one of the things that I said, knowing in that I'm going in as a reserve before the tournament, was like, you know what? I don't give a damn. I'm taking the throwing stick. I'm taking my rods. I'm going by the lake because I cannot be the weakest link just because I'm thinking I might not be fishing.
Right.
I need to be just as prepared as the guys that are starting, just in case something hits the fan and I need to go in, period. And that's exactly what happened. But this is where,
Right.
Preparedness meets opportunity. Fortunate or unfortunate, you need to train for it. And we had plenty of those conversations where I said, you know what? I'm going by the lake. I am by the lake. I'm casting here. I'm casting there. Tomorrow is the throwing stick. MacGyvering, catapult into something that can carry the bait, hopefully, close to that 100 yards, or beyond from the regular retail one. All of that was happening while not knowing if I will have the fishing time. That's the difference between all of those keyboard warriors and actually being a part of the team. You do it even though you don't think you're going to need it.
Yeah.
Well, I think those
It's-
are the boxes that you check off, though, Rafal, and I think they're big boxes. And if I don't mind saying, the intelligence, the wherewithal, and the tenacity alone that comes from Rafal, I've experienced it, and I can see it coming into play and helping the team.
Yeah.
Besides having to look at him, I mean, let's face it, he's pretty daggone ugly, you you don't have this good looks, but Rafal's a workaholic. He's a workaholic. He's going to be there. Either meet him there or he's going to beat you there. I mean, it's just that simple. And I've had an opportunity to experience that. And he's got a couple dollars. He can get there. So I can see it. I think a lot of times, especially in this community, and what you're really trying to say, Bogdan, is ego meets emotion, and that's a terrible storm.
Man,
people get upset.
It's very easy. We are going together on this world championship, plus minus few anglers, but I'm telling you one thing. Get in touch with any angler who was traveling with us along these years, and you see any messages between me and those guys are ending up kind of like, have a good one, brother, or we don't have a beef, not a single one ever being part of that delegacy flying out of the US with us.
Right.
None of them.
Yeah.
And how many times you ever heard any dramas or anything going on between us, or how many times? I'm telling you right now, never. How many times you heard about any of us doing better, or no? We are there, a team. You understand? We take it, we win it, or we sink all together. You know, it's that's the part which a lot of anglers in the US they're not gonna find their spot into this team.
Right.
You know, that's one of the main reasons. Aside their fishing qualities as well, but this is one of the main reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's super important. It's probably more than important than fishing itself. If you don't have that chemistry, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like you said, Bogdan, about losing the tournament before you ever start it. That's a real good way to be involved in a loss before you get there.
You know how easy can happen.
Yeah,
You know how easy can happen when the guy next to you can send a freaking rod 227 meters in a goddamn clip. You know what that cast is? Can you imagine that?
No, I can't imagine that, actually.
227 meters in the clip. Then basically 60% of the anglers in the US, they will need to cast that rod 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
To
gonna
get to
put
that
in
distance.
perspective.
Yeah, I can get there pretty easy, Bogdan, but I need a bait boat, so.
Yeah,
Exactly. And those guys, on top of everything, happens to be your neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
that's
that's tough.
that's right, man. That is.
Happens to be your neighbors and happens to start playing with your mind if you let them.
Yeah. No.
You know?
Yeah. Well, there's the other thing that I enjoy about Rafal. You know, he's a pit bull. He's a damn pit bull, man. You know, you can bring all the noise and intimidation you want, and you cross that line in the sand, I bet you got a fight on your hands with Rafal. I just know that he's not going to let any of that. In fact, I thought you guys took him just in case there was a fight. You know, hey, Rafal, you're up, bud. But
We should call him the referee. Is that what we should call him, a referee?
No, I'd say Rafal outside of the soccer, he'd roll his sleeves up. I'd say he would.
Referee Rafal?
Referee Rafal, no, referee Daddy.
That's right.
He's got the bullets for the keyboard cowboys too.
Yeah.
You know, he's got sort of a right ammunition for that too, which is a very important part. We have that machine gun already set on the desk. You know, we've been waiting. They didn't show up yet. I mean, it's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late for these fans of USA team to start showing up and start pushing buttons. But
one of our big strengths too, I feel like, is, you know, I've been fishing with Henry for over 10 years now. Right. Me and him fishing together. We know each other. I don't even have to say anything to. We can go the whole tournament without talking to each other, but he'll know exactly what to do, when to do. Same with me, with him. You know, we work very well together.
Yeah.
Same with Bogdan and Mihai.
Right.
And that goes a long way.
You guys' minds linked all together. You know, you guys know your strategies.
All the time.
Yeah. You know, when
One-minded.
When you can, get things accomplished without having to talk, in that flow state where, you're just doing one thing, he's doing the other thing. You can actually get a lot more done because you don't have to actually take the time to sit down and communicate and things like that.
Great.
That's a great
The hardest thing in all these world championship is to come up with a plan and to build that plan. That's actually the hardest part. Once you have the plan, let's put it that way, it takes a little bit of a cojones to follow that as well.
Yeah.
But to come up with that plan, that's actually the hard part. And these plans, let's put it that way. I'll give you an example. We've been fishing this tournament, okay? Mm-hmm. Prior to the World Championship. We got in our vision range, let's put it that way, as I told you, the Hungarian team, and that's another team from Germany. I think these are the two teams we can see ourselves from where we've been sitting down, Right. Both of these teams, basically the German teams, has been two Croatian guys actually in the team, local guys, and as soon as the tournament starts, boom, boom, they start catching fish right away. You know, obviously we cannot see what they are using. Even if we see what they are using, makes very little difference because we may not have it, or we.
Right.
If you know where I'm going to, but what we seen actually is both of these teams spombing 3 spombs at a time. Spombing 3 spombs. Poms, 3 spombs. The other team 3 spombs. Enjoy catching fish without any problems. Obviously, when we seen that happening, I talked to Darius, which has got a lot of experience. Excellent guy.
Right.
Excellent guy, excellent fisherman, fishing a lot of European tournaments. We talk about it and we say, you know what? Never hurt. Let's replicate that.
Right.
We put our 3 spumps out, you know? Guess what? Nothing happens. And nothing happens for the 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. Till the point when we decided, I says, listen, if we're gonna do nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Right.
If we're gonna sit here on our ass and watch these guys following their, because into any fishing match, any tournament, and I don't want these to sound bad, but I fish a lot of these tournaments in the last 20 years in the US, in Europe. I can 100% tell you, if you don't find a rhythm, you stand 0 chances to win. Before you start winning, you gotta find that rhythm. You gotta find that thing which starts working out for you, you know? And that was the time when we decided we're gonna say, you know what, they baiting 3 spumps, that's fine. We're gonna bait 180.
Oh, wow.
We're gonna put 180 spumps out there.
Nice.
You know, see what I mean. I'm not saying this was a good move, but
Right,
we
something
still on to the point. We still on to the point where we need to learn something out of this whole trip. You know,
Right.
that was the whole point. I said, okay, let's load it up. What could be the worst? We're not catching fish anyway. You know,
Exactly.
we're not catching fish anyway. But at least let's see if in a tournament condition.
Oh. We lost him.
He's froze.
Yep. His phone might have died, unfortunately.
Oh, no kidding. You think?
Hey, let me take the time right now to let Rafal go. Rafal, I know you had to go at 8:30, buddy. If you want to sign off, it's quite all right.
Yeah, I was.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, no, I'm still here.
Okay.
If I'm not messing up your audio, I'm fine for now.
No, I think Bogdan went dead, though.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap up the show. Here any second anyway. I greatly appreciate you guys having for
What an
coming on the
amazing
show.
team.
I would like to get if you guys have time, we'll figure it out. I would like to get each of you actually individually on the show as well to kind of tell your own personal story about how you guys got onto the team, what it means to be onto the team, and just things of that nature. So I would like to schedule each of you to have your own episode if you guys would be okay with that. And then are there any closing things that you guys would like to say before we do close out the stream?
Just thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
If ever you guys are in Beeville this week, I could stop by and see you and chat with you a little bit.
Awesome.
I'll be here. I live here, so.
Awesome.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and make sure everybody we can. Going to try to drop a link after I get back in front of a computer. Follow our page, Team USA Carp Squad.
Nice.
Okay.
This is where we're going to be. Right. So we're obviously posting recently a lot of updates. We will continue those. There will be some interesting content. You can guys get to know not just the team, but also what we are doing specifically
Nice.
to make it a little bit more known and easier to understand
Yeah.
proverbial day in and day out as part of Team USA. So make sure to follow. We're going to drop that link in the comment section at some point later. But yes, good things are coming. We're definitely making waves on the global stage. So, it all just spells good for the so-called American carp.
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, thank you for everything
Yeah.
that you guys are doing. We
Again,
appreciate it.
Thank you guys very much coming on the show. That was a great honor talking to the USA Carp Squad.
We appreciate it.
You guys should be very, very proud of being in sixth place. It's a bonus being first, but hell, sixth place out there, 3 teams. Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and with such a disadvantage too, and being such an underdog. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But at the end of the day, I'm proud of where we finished and stuff, but we have a goal in mind, and that's to bring some hardware home. And until that day comes, then I'll be happy.
No, I'm with you when you're right, but I understand.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm not sure if you, Sean, continue with the rest of the story.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I'm sorry. We were just saying we were running over a bit late, and we were just kind of finishing up the show, asking if you had any closing statements, anything like that you wanted.
I don't even know what closing statements. What closing statements is? A closing statement is a very easy one. Anyone who's gonna support us and is gonna stand behind us, helping us, pushing that imaginary cart towards the gas station, it's more than welcome.
Yeah.
If you don't want to do that, just let us be. We working hard enough, and we got all of us the same goal, like my brother Sean says. That hardware, hopefully one day we're gonna be able to bring it home.
Yeah. Well,
Yes, sir.
I have faith in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys did great. Just like what I was saying earlier, here we're very proud of you guys for hitting sixth place out 33 teams. That's amazing.
Putting us on the map.
Yeah, definitely a lot of other countries are looking at us. We're looking at you guys. Like wow, these guys are serious and they know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 100% sure you guys are going to be hitting that first place next year. Just the way the passion that you guys got in you.
Yeah, it's burning.
Yeah, it's on fire.
If it's gonna happen or not, we'll see. But we're gonna die trying. That's a fact.
That's what I'm talking about, Bogdan.
Back.
So,
Make sure you guys
everybody
go ahead.
I said everybody who supports us though, and the people that do help us and support us, thank you. We appreciate that.
yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
sir.
So
Absolutely. That to our families who actually stands behind us.
Yeah.
To everybody who was like every single guy out there, like Sarge, Norby, Tanner, Sean, Rafal, Christine, Gregory, Darius, Little John, every single guy out there who actually happens to walk to my pack 45 minutes each way to bring us 3 bottles of water.
Man.
Because they're not allowed to drive. And we can keep going and going with these things for hours. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for having us here. We much
thank you
appreciating.
again. Great job, guys. Great job.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank
Thank you guys for having us.
Of course.
Who's going to Baldwinsville right now?
I am.
Daniel.
Okay, buddy. I envy you. This is the first time in the last 20 years when I'm not in Baldwinsville already.
Oh, wow.
First time.
Very unfortunate. I'll catch you at the next
This
one.
is my first time. Oh, indeed. If I'm not gonna be dead or something, I'll be there, even if I'm gonna need to crawl from Chicago to New York. But I got my boys out there. I got my boys Jacob and Radu.
Okay.
Still carrying the flags, still carrying the cars out there. You better watch them.
Daniel's teaming up with Thomas Pearson and Justin Keaton.
Yeah. So.
Okay, I know little Justin. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Good luck, guys. Good luck, guys, and hopefully the carp gods, they're gonna smile
There you go.
upon you,
Yeah.
and you're gonna get a good spot.
For sure. Well,
great to
thank
talk
you
to you
very
guys.
much. I got to get on the road.
Yeah, he's leaving now.
I'm heading to New
Keep
York
something
right
in
now.
mind. When you're gonna choose that bag, keep only one thing in mind. No current, no life
Yeah.
into that Bouldersville event. Just keep that in your mind.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome.
I will.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks,
thank you
guys.
All right, guys, thank you.
Wow, what a show.
Man, I am diehards.
Yeah. I'm very excited. Like I said, I'm excited to have them back on, and I'm excited for their individual episodes.
That was just the passionate in these guys. You know what I mean? It's Bogdan, man. What? Just it will not surprise me that they're on first place next year. It will not surprise me at all.
Yeah, they're pulling out all the stops. They're going hard with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, they work really hard.
Man.
I'll tell you who else works hard is Dave from Ben's Tackle Shack.
Oh, Ben.
Shout out.
There we go.
Thanks, Dave.
Shout out,
Appreciate
Dave.
all you do, buddy.
Thanks, Dave.
If you're anywhere near Massachusetts and you need some bottom feeder bait, Dave at Ben's Tackle Shack has a whole carp corner that he will accommodate you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could get that restocked back up too.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our sponsors, Carp Angler, Big Money Beepers, Team Fish Fighters again. Bottom feeder baits up there, Carpy Commando and Carp Angler Group.
USA Carp Guide.
Yep, as always, I'm Daniel Irish from USA Carp Guide and Bottom Feeder Baits.
James Sanders, Team Fish Fighters, Bottom Feeder Baits. And
I ain't nobody.
All right,
I'm with
and
everybody. So.
thanks for watching, guys.
we'll see you guys later. Thank you very much.